Yo, welcome everyone once again to the We Are Gamers series. My name is your host, Champ Tone, aka Psychosis, a gamer with a passion for Jesus and gaming. And it is once again a true pleasure to grace your space this day. Today we have the honor and privilege of having a group of friends and gamers on our show. One, let me introduce first my co host, no stranger to the show, Avant-Garde, or as I usually call him, Avanteguarde, or Avante, or Seth, because we know his real name. What's up,
Hey,
Seth?
where they at though?
Welcome. Joining us today, we have another duo. Since this is season two of this is actually our second episode of season two, so we're doing a 2v2 today. And allow me to introduce our other guest this evening. It will be Rage, who is the biggest deal once again, and another good buddy, Incarnate. Welcome, gentlemen.
What's going on? Thanks for having
What's
us.
up? I can't wait till season 3 when we have like groups of 3. It's gonna get
Lol.
wild.
The 3v3s, Twisted Tree Line, bro.
Bring it back.
Wow, bringing it back.
Remember? I actually remember that. Anyway, so so Rage has been on the show before. Incarnate, you're a new voice to many of the people who have been listening. So not to put you on the spot, though I'm about to do that right now. Just give us a
Isn't
brief
that how it usually goes? Not to put you on the spot, but
if you could just give us a quick overview, just let us know a little bit about you. Yeah, go ahead.
sure. Been a gamer pretty much my whole life, Got real world responsibilities. Married, 2 kids.
Mm.
Actually grew up with Rage. We met each other, what was it, 4th grade? 5th grade?
I
Somewhere. Something
think
like
it
that.
was 5th.
Was that
grade.
when my mom sent me to school with Daisy Dukes? Did I know you then?
Daisy Dukes.
That was
Oh,
all
yeah.
throughout high school. So
Oh
I don't
my
know.
Oh,
goodness.
Yeah, I said, Mom, I went to go get. She got me new shorts. She's
So
like, Hey, you
that's
need to wear these. I'm like, okay. I put them on. I'm like, Mom, I think they're a little funny. They're not. They don't seem cut right. Of course, I'm in 4th grade. I didn't know what they were. Everybody else at school knew what they were.
that's
Went to
a,
school with Daisy Dukes, but yeah, man. Yeah,
No,
that's pretty much me in a nutshell.
Or-
Did a little time in the service and
Mm.
got out and work in a family restaurant business that we own, and that's kind of what we're doing.
it was love at first sight. So so you guys met in elementary school?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, at the tail end of elementary school.
Mary Potter, right? That was the name of the
That's
school.
Yeah.
wow. So you guys have known each other. So if you guys don't mind, if you could just give us your ages once. You guys are the same age or
I'm the
He's
older,
40.
wiser one.
I'm
40.
39.
He's 39.
I'm in my sorry, I should have said he's in his 40s. I'm in my 30s.
Yeah, that's right. Just not too much longer.
Rage, that makes you the baby of the group.
Mm. For
about-
this group, yes.
Yep.
which is not a bad thing. Wow. So do you guys so you guys became friends and everything. So did you guys like just start gaming right away or like how did or it just evolved from just being friends hanging out and doing stuff?
I don't think there's been a time since I got a Nintendo when I was like 5 that I didn't game.
Mm.
That's right. Yeah,
So,
I got
like,
the
we were
Super
definitely
Nintendo.
Playing Hero Quest and Final
Magic?
Fantasy 2 and Final Fantasy 3 and
Oh, so good.
Chrono Trigger and stuff like that immediately.
Oh yeah, for sure. We'd have Final Fantasy was I think the beginning game for us. I had never played the first one, Mystic Quest,
Mm.
Yeah.
and then I met Drew, and he introduced me to that and Final Fantasy 2, which I still think is the best Final Fantasy.
With
Um,
Cecil?
Yes,
Yes.
with Cecil. You got to go
Cecil-
up Mountain Doom.
Mount Ordeal.
Ordeal. That's what it was. Yeah.
And then you gotta
Is
fight.
that a hot take?
Hey, what were the twins' names? Palm and
Oh, I don't remember.
Aura or something.
yeah, Palm and Pora.
Yeah.
Dude, what a
I
great
remember
game.
that was the one
That
with
was an
the,
amazing game.
with the whale and everything and
Mhm.
Yep.
the-
And we played roller hockey in your basement. Remember? Because you guys were
Yeah.
remodeling your basement.
Yeah, we had a giant empty basement and we'd play roller hockey full like length.
Do you remember
Wait,
when I
with-
first met you and you
with
lived in that
roller
other house and we
skates?
played? Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh my
rollerblades. Yep.
goodness.
It was the jam,
Back
dude.
when we were indestructible. You know those times
Yeah.
when you're indestructible and
Mm.
young.
Yeah.
They are gone from now.
Indeed.
I lost
Indeed,
that
we
at
know.
some point.
Yeah. What is it? You play golf now and you break your ankle?
Yeah.
Break your ankle playing golf.
Dude.
Oh,
Yeah, we actually spoke about that on the show. How your invulnerability goes away.
It does. It really
oh,
does.
Man. That's hilarious. So
But
you
yeah,
guys,
man, it was
yeah, go
we
ahead.
definitely been doing it for a while.
Oh, so you still play the roller hockey in the basement, huh?
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I wish.
Yeah. No, definitely not. No, those
Definitely not
days are
getting on
gone.
any skates anytime soon.
No, I might go ice skating with my kids every once in a while. That's
Oof.
about it.
That's hard. Oh man,
Yeah.
doing it, just trying to do anything with the kids. It's like, okay,
Yeah,
yeah, go.
just trying to keep up.
I'll catch up. I'll catch up. Yeah, just keep going.
Dad, you're sitting
keep
down
going.
again. Yeah, well, I'm 40. Well.
You're going the wrong way, Dad. I'm like, yeah, just you got to keep talking, so I know.
Yeah, I
which
gotta go to the
direction you're in.
bathroom. You just went. I know. I gotta go again.
Oh man, it's
No.
terrible.
It is.
That's funny.
Getting
That's
older.
funny.
As my grandmother used to say, getting old's for the birds.
Yeah, but you
Go
guys have
Go ahead.
kept the relationship all this time, though, right? I mean, it wasn't like like you guys stopped hanging out and then you guys just met up and was like, hey, what's going on? It just continued throughout your life,
It
right?
never truly stopped. Like we weren't that
Mhm.
close in high school. Then like a year or two after high school, we got to be close friends. And then when he joined the service, we were still like technically best friends, but he'd be in Bahrain or Iraq or Afghanistan or Florida or Virginia Beach or something. So definitely
Yeah, I mean,
still tried to like hang
we've
out.
always
but
had a relationship. Like, yeah, I think he's right. Probably high school is probably we hung out probably the least. But then after high school, we were actually roommates when we were going to college. We'd got an apartment. Man, I love that
yes.
place. Hey, you remember, Drew? You remember taking my parents' blue Safari, and
Oh,
we had
Lord.
strapped that mattress from your house,
yeah,
and we
yeah, it
decided
flew
that
off.
tied it to the
Yeah, it
roof
was
with twine
we were
was
very
a
good
good
at it.
idea.
Oh my God. What did you do? So wait. Please
So-
explain this story.
All right, let me tell you the story. So we're moving, and of course, we're starving college kids, so we got to do all this crap ourselves. Can't hire movers. So I've got this blue Safari van that my parents had given me,
Oh, my
and
Lord.
we went over to Drew's house. He lived about 10, 12 minutes from my house, and we put on the mattress on the roof because where else can you put it in a van? And the only thing I think we had to tie it down was this brown twine. And we're like, well, if we tie it multiple times, it'll probably be fine.
Oh,
So
my
we get to time, and we get down. He lives about a mile down this road, so we get to the end, take a left at the stop sign. Then that's a backcountry road, and go a little faster. We start going. We start to feel the tension. Next thing you know, here comes this car on the other lane driving, and there goes the mattress flying off.
No.
Oh
This
no!
The other car was his parents.
Oh my.
Get
And
out of
they
here!
pulled over. They looked at us. They said, "You boys okay?" We're like, "Yeah, we got it." They're like,
You
"Okay."
boys
Kept on driving.
They're like, we are not getting involved in
No.
these shenanigans.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
the mattress
like-
we shattered a light bulb with when we moved out of that place.
Oh,
Oh,
We were
that's
just coming
right.
down the stairs and like we were exhausted. It was the end of the day. We had done it all ourselves. It was like 8 or 9 o'clock, and we pushed it down, and it just like sprung and flung up and like shattered this
It did.
Oh.
light
Oh, I
bulb
forgot
like
about
15
that.
feet off the ground or something. And like I don't even know how the physics didn't even make sense. And we were like, well, we're moving out. They're not gonna know it's
Yeah, we
us.
just
We're
kind
out.
of like shrugged, like,
It's like,
yeah,
let's get
okay.
out of here.
Man, that apartment, I loved it. I think because it was our first apartment, but that thing was so loud. It was right next to the highway. You couldn't have the sliding glass door open in the living room,
You
or you wouldn't
stopped
be able to
carrying
hear
your
anything.
key around because you'd pick it faster with your credit
Yes.
card than the
I
key.
had a key, it was the MVP Food Line card. That's how we got in and out of the
That
apartment.
was the
was-
key. Yo, that is hilarious.
Uh,
Oh
It
my
was
god.
special.
So
It
you
was
all
great.
right. So you guys have a freaking boatload of probably the craziest memories together. That's
Yeah,
that's
stories.
hilarious.
That's for sure. And the best part is, you get older, you forget about them, and you remember, and it's like you're reliving it all over
And then
again.
it's like, oh, remember that time we did this? It's like, yeah. Nah, tell me what happened. It's like, all right,
Yeah,
because you, even though you were there, I'll explain it like you know, like you weren't there.
That's
Well, you've
right.
both changed the story so much in your head that like
Oh,
it's a new version by the time.
Oh
right.
man,
We keep making those stories better, and we're convinced it's the accurate truth.
that's how you got to do it. Like that one time, me and Seth were playing Magic the Gathering, and a dragon flew through the window, and it tried to attack us. Seth did a counter spell on it, and knocked it out the window. Everybody was kind of drunk when it happened, so we don't know if this actually did happen. But a 2-liter bottle of soda was
What were
spilled
y'all
all over the
drunk
floor.
on? Acid? LSD?
A
I
combination
haven't
of
had that brand of bourbon. I can tell you that.
it definitely
Yeah,
wasn't
that's
bourbon.
Moulin Rouge level of absinthe. Yeah.
There you go. You talk about dragons, Drew. You remember Final Fantasy Raida fighting Bahamut?
That was one of
Mm.
our gaming moments where it was so wild that like we thought we were 100% dead. Our entire team was wiped. She had like what 43 HP.
Yeah, less than 100.
Yeah, like of 1,000, like roughly 43 HP. So like any single attack kills, or we were facing Bahamut,
Mm.
and like she's counting down to summon. He's counting down to do his big blast, which
Oh
wipes the
God.
entire team. And then like it hits one, and then it's like done. He's like done. He's about to cast it, and then like our animation goes off, and then like oh okay maybe we'll, and then the animation for the Bahamut or whatever our summons was ends, and then it just like stops, and then we're like oh god no we lost, he didn't die, and then like 3-second delay, and he starts shaking, and like then we're
What?
like we don't have any like ability to heal anybody, so like we're walking through and the screen is like pulsing because we have no health and
Oh
everything,
my God.
trying to get to a safe point. It
To a
was
save point, yes. We're
Oh
like,
my God.
please
That's so
don't fight us."
nerve wracking.
Oh man.
I know what you're talking about because you're walking through the world, and right, because you're low health, and
Yeah.
you're like, oh my God, if I get into a fight, I'm going to die. 'Cause
Yeah.
there's
And
nothing you
it's one of
can
those
do.
things that it felt so much like now I'd just be like, yeah, if you die, you just start over. But like at that point in time, it was like life or death, whether we
Oh
got somewhere
no.
or
Oh,
not.
It was.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Mhm.
That's
Definitely,
freaking
it's definitely
hilarious.
hard for single player games without it being like a Dark Souls thing to like feel like that same level of like if you're not going to lose a ton of progress and stuff
Mm-hmm.
at this point in life, it's hard to feel the same level of like of stakes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Absolutely. I know exactly what you're talking about. Super Nintendo was notorious for that. Nintendo and Super Nintendo, those are the games. Like now you see people speedrunning them, and every time they die, I still cringe a little inside. Like
Yeah.
I still feel I'm like, oh no, they got to start from the beginning. They're just like whatever. They reset the game. I'm like, oh my God, what are you doing? What are you doing? You were on the last stage. No, you got to finish. And then they just do the speed run. It's like 10 minutes anyway, and I'm just like, wow, I couldn't. Yeah, that's that to me because I understand that. They die, you're dead. You're like, no, you lost all that progress. When in reality, you've only been playing for like 20 minutes. And
That's right. Those old games, man, and a lot of that was memorization too. Like
Mhm.
the old Ninja Gaidens and things like that.
Yeah, especially Ninja Gaiden was notorious for that. Holy cow. That one, Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2. The third one, I don't know. That one, I'm not too. Seth, which you did the Ninja Gaiden games, no? You were more a
No,
Shinobi
I
guy.
didn't. I did Shinobi for
Mm.
Genesis.
Shinobi,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Shinobi
Yeah,
was
I
freaking
didn't
crazy.
have the opportunity to get to Gaiden.
Well, you said you talking about the Genesis. I had the original Sega. See, when I grew up in Bogota, Colombia when I was a kid till I was like 6.
Mm.
So my grandparents came down and brought the
Mm.
Sega down, right? And of course, down there wasn't any video games, and Sega,
Mhm,
consoles had
mhm.
just come out. So they brought this Sega, and we had every kid in the neighborhood in our living room playing on this thing.
That's
But man,
hilarious.
those were great times. Those first few consoles were the best. The Sega, the Nintendo,
That's
Super
hilarious.
Nintendo.
Yeah, definitely. And
It-
it's something. It's something about, and that's what's cool about this discussion because it's something about playing with your friends. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
it's just you're already buddies. You already have that connection, and then you're playing the game. I think we talked about this rage in our when we had our 1v1 earlier in season 1, where we were talking about how much fun that was because you're with your buddies, you're sitting playing with them, and it's been an idea that's come up a few times. Rage, I'm sorry, I think I cut you off too, by the way. So go ahead.
no, I mean, yeah, definitely. Like the level of communal experience is so like they're so rare that there's a video game that I really like that isn't multiplayer at this point, so I can play with my buddies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just look for games. It's like, all right, is there a good co-op? Is there a good something? Like, will it be fun to play together? Because like, it's just there's so few games that at this point where they're doing enough new things or enough interesting things that I can, like, even Elden Ring. I didn't have much interest in playing by myself, but I would just enjoy being online at the same time as a friend is playing it because it just makes the game so much more fun to me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think we made co-op games before there was co-op games. You know, we'd sit on the couch and take turns with the controller playing that Final Fantasy, or I'd sit there and I didn't play it much, but you remember Myth: The Fallen Lords, Drew, on PC? Of
That
course
game
you
was
do.
wild.
It's like one of your favorite games.
It is.
But I'd sit there and watch you
It
play
is.
that, and that was just as fun, you know. And you
Yeah.
get just into it too, like, man, your dwarves run, the berserkers are coming. Oh man, those,
that's so.
those were the
good.
experiences that I
Yeah.
remember as a kid being the best. You know, like I remember the games, but it was really that
Mhm.
like hanging out with your buddies. You know, staying up all night, hopped up on Mountain Dew and Skittles.
Oh my
Mountain
god!
Lightning.
Is
Not
that your
lightning.
favorite gaming memory for both of you? Do you have one? Playing together?
I mean, playing together is definitely my favorite game memory. And I think one of my favorite specific ones was when we were talking about a minute ago with the Raije and the Bahamut.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, that's like one of those early ones. And then I remember playing like Secret of Mana
Secret of Mana.
and Chrono Trigger like early one morning. Like those were really fun.
Do you remember that photograph card game when we had the apartment in Raleigh when we moved to
I
the other one?
hopped on Reddit and got the name of that one.
You did. I remember. That's right. 'Cause we
Yeah,
had
it
that
was one of those
conversation
type-
about it.
card game. What is
So
that?
okay,
Oh, dude. Oh man.
so we found out that there's this lovely Reddit group that's like tip of my tongue kind of thing, where you're like, okay, it was a game. We think it was this console. We think it was roughly this time of year. It like had like this kind of mechanic in it, and someone inevitably knows it, right? Like there's just a ton of people on there, and but it's this like RPG where your attacks are you're playing cards, and like also when you play cards, it affects the color of the screen, and like when you take pictures during the battle, like then you sell those for money. Like that's your source of income in it. So like that's just like a little
What?
bonus thing. But like the cards, like at the beginning, like you're trying to play like straights and sets.
Yeah.
And at the beginning,
What game is this?
it's really hard because you're like you have like a few cards in your deck and they only have one value and
Mhm.
it's really hard to get anywhere. And like we didn't like it at all for the first like hour or two. But back then, I gave games longer chances,
That's
and
right.
because like that's the game you rented from Blockbuster that week. You're playing it.
Oh, that was the other.
That's what's
memory.
going to happen. And by the end, like we were going like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, because like our cards would have multiple values, and we'd be triggering all these cool mechanics together, and like it was amazing, and like we had so much fun. But like that's a game that like now we would have just given up on and never given
Oh,
it a
for
chance,
sure.
and it was ended up being great.
What game
It
was,
was,
this?
and I'm trying to remember. Drew and I had this conversation. Rage and I had this conversation probably 6 months ago, and afterward we couldn't find it. We couldn't find it, so he got on that Reddit and he had texted it to me a couple days later because somebody had responded with it, and we had even joked about trying to play it again together. But I can't remember. It was a weird name.
It was for a console.
It was console,
Uh-huh.
Xbox, the original Xbox.
I'm not even sure if it was for Xbox. It might have been for PlayStation. I feel like we were wrong about that.
Avante, does this ring a bell to you at all?
It does not, but it sounds amazing.
I mean,
Yes,
and like
yeah.
we never knew this game or anything other than the fact that like we just was it Blockbuster or GameStop? It was used somewhere. We just saw it and we're like, okay, let's try this game.
I'm thinking of
And
the
it ended up being
mechanics,
awesome.
and I cannot for the life of me. All right, later after we're done here, I'm definitely gonna check out what the heck that game.
Yeah, it was a
Wow.
great game. But that was another memory that I enjoyed too. Was
Mm.
obviously there are no Blockbusters anymore. But whenever Drew and I would
Yeah.
spend the night at each other's houses or whatever, we'd convince our parents to take us up to Blockbuster. And by convince, I think they knew if they did that, they wouldn't have to deal with us for the rest of the evening. So they went up there, and we'd go up there and we'd rent 2 games because you knew one was going to be a bust, right? Because it's always games you never played.
Mm.
And so we'd
Yeah,
rent two
yeah, yeah.
games, and one of them inevitably would be terrible, and the other one we'd get into. And I mean those memories were fun, walking around and like not knowing what you were going to find at the end of the game aisle at Blockbuster. You know, there's nothing
Alright,
like
so-
that anymore.
So I checked out my
Oh, here we go.
Reddit, and it was Tip of My Joystick is the name of it, and it's Baton, Katos, Eternal Wings, and the Lost Ocean is the
Baton,
name of it.
Katos, the Eternal Wings, and the Lost Ocean. Baton
Mhm.
Katos rings a bell for some strange reason, but nothing else does. And it just rings a bell because the name just sounds catchy. To be honest, I mean,
And it
It's
doesn't even
just-
look familiar at this point, really. Like, and so many of those games, like when you go back and you look at them, and you're like, "What was I was playing this game? This game looks awful."
oh my
Um,
goodness.
But we had a ton of fun.
It was awesome. Another.
This is so good. Yeah, keep
Did
going.
you guys
keep
ever
going.
play
Love
WoW?
this.
I mean, Drew and I did. We
Yo,
had the beta downloaded, but
we have a screenshot where so Avante and I, he knows exactly what I want to say. There's a screenshot that he has. And I saved the last time he sent it to me. I saved it because I always save it and always freaking lose. I don't know why, but I saved it again this time. I saved it in my email, so I'll always have it.
There it is.
And
Good.
it's a WoW screenshot. It's our shamans. I'm a Tauren. He's a troll shaman, and we're at the top. It was one of those Zolgurub temples. After you just
yeah,
you just fight it. And this isn't a dungeon. This is one of the open world questing areas.
Uh-huh.
And we were there for like an hour just fighting to the top because not only are the dudes continuing to spawn, we have to go there's only one path to get to the top of this place to get this item that the boss has. And we did it. It felt like such a victory. And it's a screenshot. Oh, did you put it? Yeah, he put it in Discord. When you get a chance, check it out. Right? No, he didn't.
No.
Oh, sorry. I'll put it in Discord later. And it's basically, yeah, so it's the two of us looking at a sunset after everything, and it's just so cool. You know what I mean? Because Avante and I, we've done a lot of Warcraft, a lot of StarCraft.
Oh
so
man,
much,
yes.
so much StarCraft. Oh, forget it. That
Yeah.
was
Diablo.
Diablo.
Yes.
Yes.
Back when
Yeah.
Blizzard made games worth
Yeah.
playing.
Hey, remember
Yeah.
the
Hot take.
That's right.
you didn't have to pay $30 just to level up. You know what I mean? So
That's
Yeah.
right. Remember the duping glitch in the original Diablo?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Oh man,
that was a
great.
lot of fun.
And you had a lot of the
Was.
godly. You had like 10 godly plates of the whale for trade, and you traded
Yes.
those. Yeah, man, I know.
And all
about
those
that stuff.
elixirs and stuff.
That
the,
game was awesome. That game
was really good. Like that's one of those games that like I started it and like I'd be grossly overleveled with everything, and then I spent a little while like, using all duped stuff, and then I spent a little while like player killing. Like I'd go around because like there was this glitch where you could fireball people till they were negative health, but they were immortal. But then if you healed them, they die.
Kill them in town.
Like it was just like a unique like glitch where like if you healed someone, even if they were invincible, if they had negative health, they died. But then I started playing the game like as a challenge, and so I'd just skip the caves and I'd go 1 through 8, then straight down to 12, and like it was like you just like had to dodge everything. It was so much fun. It was hard, but it was so much fun.
It was a great game.
It
I enjoyed
was.
that.
It
And then
was.
That was back at the same time as like Final Fantasy VII and Myth of the Fallen Lords and StarCraft.
And that was so
coming
much.
out.
It was
Like,
so
that
much
was
better
such an
multiplayer
iconic.
too.
It was such a period of like everything being pushed. So like all the game creators are trying to create the best game and like break boundaries and stuff, and now it just seems like who can come up with the best monetized game seems to be the primary concern.
Oh,
And it really felt different because there
It
was
was.
no monetization.
Well, what you had was you had a bunch of people who thoroughly loved what they were doing, in a sense that like there wasn't the money there is now behind the games, which kind of what you were talking about, Rage. But it's like so the people who were making these games were making games they wanted to play.
right.
They wanted to.
But
create.
like in the '80s, they almost destroyed video games because they were just producing absolute garbage.
Well,
Right? They were just
they were
like
yeah,
copying and pasting
they were
and
just
changing a few
throwing.
colors.
They were literally like just developing random stuff and just throwing it out there, putting a clever box art and saying, "Oh, this is whatever
The best game.
movie." Yeah,
Yeah.
it was terrible. It was so bad,
Yeah.
and the game industry almost crashed. And thank
What
goodness
was it?
it did.
Bionic Commando, the
That game was
arcade.
dope.
That game
Dude,
was
they had
that
it
game
at
was
the
pretty good.
pool during the breaks, the 10-minute breaks. At the pool. That's what I'd play. I'd play the Bionic Commando.
And then you had so you know what was another good co-op experience? I know Avante knows exactly where I'm going with this, was the box arcades. And there was one in particular that was amazing. And I want Avante to tell the story because he tells it better than I do. Because there's one game, it starts with an X and ends with a men. And it was a four. Go ahead, bro. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Was that like one of the 5 hardest
It's-
games in history?
Perhaps if you didn't have
yeah.
if you didn't have more than one quarter, it wasn't a good time for sure. Like you didn't really get
Was
that
that the
far.
top-down view one?
It's
No,
it's
Okay.
a side scroll. It's a
Right.
kind of
Okay.
side-ish scroll. Like it's it
Yeah.
has some front to back too. But
Is it
it's
similar to the
limited.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles ones?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, the
four people
X-Men one I'm
standing
thinking of was a
together.
top-down view, and it was
like a
just
Smash
so
TV one.
yes, it was so brutally difficult.
Which one? The
It
one
was
with
like the
Iron
Teenage
Man?
Mutant Ninja Turtles level of difficult.
Yeah, that
This
those
is so
and it's
long ago, I
interesting
remember
because
this.
those games actually were really hard because they were those games were meant to take your money, but they were it's funny you think about it. They actually were, but they were fun when you have 4 people
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you know 4 strangers was okay, but when it was 4 people and it was your boys, that was you guys talked about that. You spent like maybe $5 in quarters, all of you, which was all the money we all had for like the month. And right. And we talked
Yeah.
about how, oh man, that was so good. Not realizing that they just took 20 bucks from us just to play this 1 hour game. You know, like I was thinking about like, man, those jive turkeys, we didn't even think about stuff like that. We were just having such a good time.
Right.
Yeah, it was
And
worth it for the memories, though.
it was.
It was.
Yeah.
It
A
was.
different type of monetization if you think about it.
Yes.
That type we
Yeah.
actually didn't have a problem with.
Right?
At least you were providing way more fun there, and you weren't. I feel like so I've gone occasionally to like the boxcar barcade type places, and they're
Mm.
always just so disappointing. Even if you like find like the more modern games which are slightly better, they usually just like you don't die. Like they time you out, and you're just like, all right, put more quarters in to keep playing. It's like I'm alive though.
Yeah,
They're like, yeah,
those,
but yet
Mm.
they don't
I
want the
know.
game to be too hard, so it's not fun. So we're just
Mm.
gonna make you pay to keep playing. It's like, no, that's not the deal we had. You were supposed to make this impossibly difficult, and then I was supposed to die and put more quarters in to keep going. Not this shenanigan stuff of like
'Cause
I
then-
just
Yo, you know what
Right.
game was like that? What was it? Top Outrun or one of those. So if you
The
were
racing
actually,
game?
yeah, if you were actually
Yes.
good at that game and you had your people with you watching, so you're doing good, you're dodging all the cars, you're making the time limits, that game would not let you pass it off of 1 quarter. You could not beat that game off of 1 quarter, even if you played perfectly.
shenanigans.
Because I remember
Yes, definitely.
we had challenge. I remember me and some of my buddies, we would see who could make the farthest time because we were like, yo, there's no way this game is doing to us. And yeah, you couldn't. I think it was 3 stages. You couldn't go 3 stages without having to put a quarter. After the 3rd stage, no matter what happened, you would
I'm
have
ready
to.
for the class action lawsuit.
It was
I'm trying to
Has your childhood been traumatized? Then we can help.
It should have to say that. You only get 3 levels. It should say that
Yeah.
on the
This game
On
will
the
cost you
arcade.
$7.55 in order to
But
finish.
yeah, imagine if they did that now. How crazy it would be. Somebody would complain that they burnt themselves on the joystick. You know what I mean? Like. So I want to ask you guys. You guys have been playing for a long time, and you guys have so many great gaming memories. You guys still play, right?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
I drag
I
them to
mean-
League of Legends. Occasionally we try other games out and then enjoy
Then
them
come
for a
back.
brief period and then come back to suffer together.
Come back to our crack. You know,
Oh.
you try to experiment with other things. It's just not the same.
It just lasts for 2 weeks, and then we have to
That's
come
right.
back.
Every
Yep.
freaking time, man. Every
Like we
I've
tried.
uninstalled it.
Oh, I've done that 3 times, I think. It was Warframe was one that we did recently. Played that for what 3 weeks, Drew. And then
Thereabouts, yeah.
And then
I wanted to
Alright.
like it more, but I
Wanna jump
Deep
in an
Rock
A-Ram?
Galactic.
Oh, that's the dwarf one that you guys have been
Yeah.
playing, right?
the
That's the
dwarf
one
one's
you're
been
on now,
pretty
right?
fun, but it's not going to last long. I already know it.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I can.
But
already
it's still pretty
tell.
fun.
It is.
It's good.
Did you
It's
have a question
definitely
for us?
like. Yeah, go ahead. You were saying something.
Who, me?
Yeah, I thought you had. I thought
Oh,
you had
no,
more
no.
of a question there. I was
Oh,
wrong apparently.
Yes.
Did
What's
I
5
might have.
plus 7 divided
But
by
I-
green?
But I'm also old, so
Sure. You were just saying like y'all still play together, kind of thing.
oh yeah, no,
But-
that was pretty much the
Okay.
question.
Yeah.
Like, you
Yeah.
know,
I mean, I played it with him in Clash the other day. We had an epic first round loss that was so close, followed by 2 forfeits, and we ended up in 5th. We were
nice.
just stuck in queue, and it's like
That's wild.
searching for your
it's
opponent.
so whack,
they're
right?
Yeah.
But at least he gave us 5th, like immediately. But like, yeah, the basically like just like that bottom. Like if you lose the first game, it's just over. It's
Right.
just like nah, thanks.
I know.
Just
I
we're
know.
good.
It is.
Do you guys
It loses that.
do you guys find
Yeah.
that when you guys play together, because me and Avante talked about this earlier, like, because I find when I'm playing with him, it's just more fun. So I tend to play a little better. Do you guys tend to like feed off of each other's energy while you guys are playing, or does it just
Well,
depend on the day?
I think part of it is like Drew's been playing League a lot longer. I mean, he's much better at it than me,
Mm.
and
But
so our MMR when we play together.
he is a big dude.
So I imagine I play better, but I'm still awful because I'm playing against higher tier opponents. So, but I do enjoy it more because, like I said, you know, you're there with your jungler, and you know, just hoping for a gank, and he's hoping I don't die before the 3-minute and 30-second mark. So,
I've seen
Yeah,
the
I mean,
improvement, bro. I've seen you get better, actually.
I
And it takes a couple of whoopings to get to that point, but yeah, you
I
definitely
think I
improved,
also
man.
have like a short attention span when it comes to champions. I'm like, I started to get good at one. Like Fizz was one for a while, Diana, then Lux, Set.
Then you'll like switch
And
roles
then I'm
and
like,
switch
yeah, I'm just
types,
gonna
and
go
I'm just
play
like, what
something.
is happening here? But yeah, so like a lot of it's that like a lot of the fun is just like when he plays like mid and I play jungle, like I'm ganking mid constantly. He likes to roam a lot because again he's super ADHD. I don't want to sit in the lane, and so we have a ton of fun just kind of influencing the whole map. It's kind of the opposite. Like I play well with him because of our 2 styles. And also, like it gives me something to focus on. Whereas when I play with Seth, like we like lose most of our games because he's doing some split push thing, whereas I'm just a team fighter. Like I want to contest every dragon, I want to win those dragons and get to 4 dragons and win the game, and just do it that way. And he's like top lane trying to push or something, and it just never works out. But I've got I have a bunch of friends who play League, and like with various ones, like we just lose every game because like our styles don't mesh and we don't communicate well enough to make it work.
I think my favorite is the Big Boy Squad.
Oh god, we have so much fun. We just pick like a Sejuani set or something.
Oh god.
And like the champions shouldn't be
Wow.
like they should be that good of a combo.
The literal big boy squad.
But
Yo.
That's
you just go in and you have enough damage to kill people, and they don't have enough damage to kill you. And I mean, like if you get behind or something, it's a problem. But like if you can start the pace off a little bit, like if one of you touches them, they get slow. The other one can pull them in, and it's just so much fun. That's the most fun I think I've had with him on here. Is just when
that's my favorite is when we just get on. We're like Big Boy Squad time, and then we, we actually tend to do better when we do that as far as track record goes.
When you have a plan, you tend to do better.
It's true too. Ooh, squirrel.
There's a lot of mindless playing on League of Legends, which is not a game that rewards you for such.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you need to pay attention a little bit, which I have unfortunately learned the hard way. But also, I love this. So when have you guys actually like started having like serious conversations while you're gaming and you totally forget that you're gaming and someone ends up like 6-1 and you guys are just like you're popping off in your game, whatever game you're playing, and you're so in the zone of what you're playing, but you're having like this just conversation that it's kind of serious but it's not, and you're just so like, have you had those moments? I know I've had a few moments like that with
I don't
Avante a
think
few
we've had
times.
those in League of Legends. I think other
Yeah,
games, I think we've like
I
first
think I'm
person
doing
shooters
everything I
and
can
stuff.
just to not
Like
die in the
those, you
first
can
1
just
minute.
play off vibes,
Mm,
and like you're just like you've learned the corners people are gonna be behind and stuff like that. Or in World of Warcraft, even you just know your rotations down to heart. I
mhm.
don't think I can do that at this point in League of Legends. I don't think I can do
Yeah.
that at any point. Like it's just
We might do that some in ARAM, but I don't know if we're
my
specifically
brain.
popping off. But
There's
like,
no popping off in ARAM for me.
yeah,
There's
but
too many
it's
things
just
on the
more of.
screen.
Although you did have that Doctor Mundo game that was pretty fun.
That was amazing. I had like 7,000 health. Like I was just,
Oh
oh,
my
that was
god.
so much fun.
I believe that.
He got
This was
improved
an
to the jungle. I
ARAM?
gotta play him out.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, all the
Yeah, I
tanks
got.
in ARAM can get 6 to 7,000
Oh
HP
my
easy.
god,
There
that
was a
is
Shogath
insane.
on the other side who had like 8 or 9, but like because of the
I
heart
believe
steal
it.
and because of the whatever else I had, I was just like roaming around getting heartsteel procs. Like they'd have like 4 or 5 people on me, and I would just be procking them each in turn, and then eventually killing them.
Oh my god.
It was amazing. It was
With
so
tank
much fun.
items.
Yeah,
All of
straight
No
them.
unkillable. Because
no
you know
no
his
damage
damage all
items.
scales off
I rushed
HP.
Heartsteel.
Right.
I rushed Heartsteel, um, and then I got Titanic. Titanic was the last item I got because you start hitting for 400 plus
Oh my god.
Ooh,
because
on the Titanic proc?
yeah, just like that AoE damage is
And then
doing
your
like
heart still
150 and
has its own
spread.
proc, which
And then
does.
Sunfire is based off your health.
Mhm.
So like I was doing 100 something damage a second to anyone near me. Just period. So there was no like,
They couldn't
and then
kill
probably
you.
a Thornmail or something, and then something else. Just so they couldn't heal off me. But
Yeah, and I don't think they had a diverse AP/AD comp either. So I think your
I don't think it would have
build
mattered.
was able to.
I probably had Spirit Visage anyway for the MR
Yeah,
because
heal.
of the healing.
But
I don't think it
But
would
yeah,
have
Big Boy
would have
Squad is
mattered.
definitely where I think we have the most fun in when it comes to League.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big boy squad.
So much fun. Or like a Nocturne Lux where you can just press R when I've ulted someone.
Oof.
That's fun too.
Yikes. That's amazing. That's amazing. Is there, so you guys did mention these, because Seth brought it up, the awesome gaming moments. Is there a particular game specifically that you two, I mean, outside of League, because League of Legends, I know it's kind of like the the mistress that we always come back to. But is there
Well, I
is
think that's well said. Yeah.
is there like any other game that it's like, you know what, let's take a break from League and you fall back on that, you can always just jump in and just get a quick game going, and it's always good for the two of you?
I don't know. I mean,
Or is that
I think
League?
that's kind of where we're at right now. Is we're trying to find that game.
It's like
And
our
Yeah,
we do
because
that through.
like we had, I mean,
like-
we've jumped back into World of Warcraft like 3 times, but each time it's been less time,
Mm,
and like I don't really have any desire to jump back into it now. If we were closer, we'd probably have something on the console.
Yep.
There's like board games we enjoy when we're in person together.
Magic was one for a long time.
Magic, yeah, was good.
oh
Magic was
really?
great. Yeah,
Both of you played tabletop Magic?
Oh yeah.
yeah, back in the day.
Oh man, that's we play in his basement. We play Final Fantasy, then we'd play Magic, and then we'd sit there and make decks to beat each other's decks and
Wow.
try them out. And then we'd be like, all right, let's go play a game, and come
Wow.
back. And
That
Um,
infinite cycle of gaming.
that was a
Yes.
fun time too. Remember when your parents would
Yes.
they'd go like antique shopping in like Durham and stuff. And they'd take us to
Mhm.
those game stores, and we'd stay there all day and play in like a tournament. And
Yeah, there's
That
like
was
little old
fun.
lady who had her like gaming shop thing, and like she had like 13 and under tournaments, so you could actually have like a chance of winning. Because at that point we were like 11 or 12.
Oh, nice.
So that was a
Mhm.
lot of fun. Those were a
I
lot
remember.
of
I
fun.
remember when the winter. What was that winter expansion that came out when Jester's Cap first got
Ice
introduced?
Age.
Ice Age. I
Mm.
remember opening that
Wow,
pack.
you
Remember,
guys
I was like,
played
we were in
from
the
back.
mountains, Drew, camping
Oh,
with your
That's
parents,
wow.
back
and
in the
and
day.
Jester's Cap
Yeah.
came out in that pack I bought. I was so
Yeah.
excited. Yep, I've
Oh
actually
my
got a
goodness.
sleeve up here. Let's see what's in this thing. Because
Yeah,
I was thinking about selling them. I've got Force of Wills. I got some Forcer wheels, some Scrublands. Oh, remember that black and white deck? It was like a. I don't think it was ever legal. It was a bunch of hippie
I
specs with
love this.
Scrublands and
I
Swords
love it.
Plowshare.
I
Yeah.
But
love
it was
it. The original source
those
to
were.
Plowshare. Lord have mercy.
Yep.
yeah.
Chris, you still had those
Psychosis and I
volcanic islands you had.
Psychosis and I share the same type of
Mhm.
memory. Like when we
Mhm.
first met, actually, our first game we connected on was him teaching me Magic the Gathering. I got in at now he was in way before me, so like he had cards from like Legions and Apocalypse and stuff, and like but I got in when it was Mirrodin, I think,
Yeah.
or was it the block before Mirrodin?
It
I
was
don't
it
remember.
was Mirrodin into Kamigawa.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. With Dark Steel and all that. Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
That game
Yep.
is interesting. I went back and saw a number of products released year by year, and I can see when I quit the first time because the number of products that was being released got way too high, and it just felt like I couldn't keep up at all. And then they learned from it and they dropped it way down and brought back in the player base. And then at some point Hasbro brought them, and then recently they're like, "Yeah, we need to extract more money from Magic to keep
No.
the rest of the business profitable at the same rate because we don't ever want our profit to go down." And I just quit Magic completely after dwindling for a few years, and they had finally surpassed the previous rate at which I quit, and I was like, "Yeah,
Mhm.
it's not fun to play if it has to be your only game.
Mm.
It's only fun for me if I can keep up with it with the pace that I want without feeling like I have to play a new set every month. It's just
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
that's not how I interact with it." And so
Well, we still have. I
So
know I have a cake box full. I have two. Those huge white cake boxes.
yeah.
I had two of those sorted, mind you, full of magic cards. Just
Nice.
it's crazy. I remember one time, I think it was when we were moving. Somebody was like, why do you have a cake box? Is that a cake? Why is it so heavy? I was like, open it. They're like, these are cards. I'm like, yes, those are magic cards. Like the foil ones I had in special, like the really rare cards we had in special, because I know Avante was the same. We had these like special clear boxes and clear sleeves that we would keep like the really rare cards and stuff. But even you, Avante, you were actually more organized than I was, because you had like 5 binders, and you had your cards by
Yeah.
set, color, and rarity. It blew me away.
And cost, yeah. So like
Yeah.
the one to 8 mana, and it was organized that way. Yeah,
Right. Yeah. Do you still have your cards?
I do.
Oh my god.
I do. They're sitting 15 feet away from me.
He's looking at them. I remember you used to have
So
a bag.
let me ask you, what was y'all's favorite colors?
Black and red.
Mine morphed. It started with green and blue, and then it probably goes back and forth between like green and
What
green and black, or like green and red.
Whatever
For me.
color the elves are in the set, that's the color that Avante uses.
So I eventually made an elf deck that was popular amongst the boys,
Oh my
and by popular I mean Psychosis hated it, and so it was pretty
Oh,
hard to
have mercy.
beat. So we found that ended up making decks just to beat each other's decks.
Yeah. Like what you guys were saying, that's what we would do. And it
Yep,
was always,
that's
but
pretty much
it was more to beat me, not to beat everyone. We would have a group.
No. We wanted to beat the cats too.
That's true. We
wanted to make sure to beat the cats because
we had
my
a dude who
elves
had this
was
Leonin
strong
deck
against the
that was
cats,
horrible.
but it was this cat deck of his was crazy.
No, but once you had there were 3 cards you needed, and we couldn't beat you because you would just gain infinite life, and it was the most frustrating. You're like, at the end of my turn, I gain 5 life. I gained 10
Yeah,
life. I gained how
yeah,
much life did I gain last turn?
it was
Yeah,
that and the
25.
elemental. So there was
Oh,
well wisher that would gain life equal to the number of elves you control.
freaking
Then I had a
well.
commander that would turn your lands into elves, and then I had an elemental that would gain plus X equal to the amount of life you gain. So I would every turn like when I had
Absolutely
those cards
ridiculous.
out, it was difficult to get around.
It's like let me draw Wrath of God. Nope. Nope.
Nope.
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. Oh, look,
That was a great card. I liked Wrath of God.
the 3 of them are on the bottom of the
Classic.
deck. Like, come on. Like, what is this nonsense? We had a friend who would cheat. My man, oh my god, he
He would hide
cheat.
cards in his crotch as he was sitting there with us.
Yo, and one day he got up because we were playing the game. My man drew at least, it was like the 5th card. I remember it was it was these birds.
Yeah,
Not
his
birds
bird
in
deck.
paradise. It was these birds that he would
No, it
get all
was
these
something
tokens.
else. Yeah.
He would get tokens based on the color of permanence, and it was a 5-color deck, and he got 5 of them. We're like, hold up, how do you have 5? We're like, wait. So we stopped. We counted his graveyard, counted his library. All right, we're like, if we see that card one more time, you're cheating, bro, because you can only have 4. So then he's like, oh, I got to use the bathroom. He got up. I guess he forgot, and
He
like
did.
and like
And
6
they
cards
fell, bro.
We're like, yo, what is that?
We all were like, yo, what is this on the floor,
We're
bro?
like, bro, what you doing, man? You bum, you've been cheating us.
Got him.
Oh man, but
Yeah, we got him.
We had such good times with. That's why you guys. That's amazing. You guys even played Magic together. Did you guys play any other tabletop games together?
Regularly like that?
Or like it was just Magic? Because I mean, I really
Pretty
couldn't
much
get into
Magic.
any. I think, did we try any other card games? No.
We had
We tried
was it
Onslaught
Overpower?
for a brief bit.
No.
Was it Overpower?
I thought it was
What is that?
Onslaught, but it could be. It was like a Marvel game back in the day.
Yeah, and we played that before Magic.
Oh, I know the card. It's a card game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know
And,
it's not the same.
Yeah, we played that. We played Blackjack, remember? We played for quarters.
Yep.
Lol.
Yep.
Yeah.
Scamming each other for some money. Damn, you guys really
Yeah.
were like best of friends and stuff.
Then we'd feel bad and we'd like be like, man, here's some of your money back. Yeah, but
It wasn't about
Get
the money.
some
It
of
was
your
never
money
about the
back.
money.
What about the
Right,
money?
right.
It was always about like winning.
Oh, yo,
But
that's
yeah, man, it was good times.
That's
We had a lot of good
absolutely-
times.
that's absolutely hilarious. So before we end, this was such a great discussion. I'm so glad I got to know you, especially more Incarnate and Rage. I didn't realize you guys were, because I know Rage played Magic, because
Yeah.
he played it on the online MTG. And I know Avante still dabbles in that every now and then. We don't really play the paper like we used to. I mean, it's hard for me because one, I have to see the cards, but also, I mean, it's been a while, right?
Yeah.
Since we've
Right.
actually, because there was a point that we were meeting at my house almost every weekend, and
Yeah.
we would have these like 5-hour 8-player matches, which were 5 hours because Avante and this one other dude would end up wiping the other 6 of us in the first, I guess, hour, and then their turns would take like an hour each. So we would just grab a beer, turn on the TV, start,
Find something else to
we
do.
knew, we knew they were going to be there forever, but
Yeah. So if you were eliminated early, it was kind of you just had to like wait around and watch the TV because the rest of us were playing chess.
that's when you would
You know-
you would call your girl and walk outside.
You know what that reminds me of?
Yeah.
Is poker night and you decide to play Texas Hold'em like tournament style. Sounds
Oh,
great.
wow.
But by like 2:00 in the morning, you're like, don't care if you win because there's like 3 of you left, and you're like, I don't care. I just all in. We're gonna go all in on this.
It's like, I'm tired. I want to go home.
Yep, just $20 isn't worth it anymore.
Oh man. Well,
That was always my problem. Is we'd have like y'all would want to have like a rebuy-in for the people who went out early, and it's like you you'd play like seriously for like an hour or two, and everyone would, like buy back in, and all of a sudden it would be like 3 or 4 in the morning. You're just like, I don't care anymore if I win. I just want this to end. Like, and you had like smokers in the group, so they'd go out constantly for
Oh,
cigarettes, slowing it down. So it was
yeah, yeah.
impossible.
It was.
It was
Oh,
just impossible.
that sounds. I'm sure it was fun when it started, and then after a while, you're like, all right,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like, all right,
Yeah,
you
well, there's a
guys.
reason we don't do it anymore.
I hear you. I
But-
mean, and it wasn't frustrating. More like it was like, you guys are here. I used to love. There was some matches that I would watch the whole time because I would go back and forth seeing each other's cards, and I
Right.
would be like, oh man, I know how the other person could win, but I couldn't say anything, and I never did. Did I,
No,
Avante?
no, you never said anything. No,
But I was always mad stoic,
no. You
mad
would just make
quiet.
noises like That's the most. That's the most you would do. Would just be like and then that's it. And then you would like
But I would
keep
do
it to yourself.
I would do it on both sides though, so it wouldn't.
Yeah,
seem
yeah,
like,
yeah. Right.
you know what I mean. And I'm just,
Yeah.
and then I'm sitting there waiting.
And you would know who would win based on
Yes,
what the cards
yes.
are.
I no, but sometimes I was wrong because the other person would just totally bluff the other person out and make them make a mistake. I've seen that a few times. Yeah, because we had
Love
a big. Our Magic the Gathering group was pretty big. On a low night, it was maybe just me and Avante, and I mean we would just play for hours. He's like, "Yo, Tone, you want to try this new deck?" I'm like, which one you want to play against?" He's like, "Try your dragons." I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna play this other deck that's not my dragons because that obviously means that deck is specifically made to not only
Yeah.
kill flyers but also red cards. So we're gonna stay away."
Blue white control deck instead. Let's go.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
God! But that was another thing he used to play, where he would just counter everything. I'm like, bro, I'm not playing that deck.
Yeah, that was like one of the first decks was the
Oh.
green blue mix. That's what I had, counter spell and everything. Like
Oh
that in
my
there.
goodness!
Last
Oh my
word.
goodness!
Yeah.
And isn't it awesome though when you're, you know what's cool though, when you're playing games with your friends, it's just such a good connecting experience. No, I mean a lot of because I see people always, especially like, I don't want to say my generation, but I guess the generation before me, there's still a lot of people that see it as a time waster, even though they see two friends who are getting together and just having such a good time. You know what I mean? And not necessarily, and this is just a good time. No alcohol has to be necessarily involved either. You know what I mean? Even though when it usually is, things get a little wild, but you know,
Yeah, well, it's definitely. I mean, for me, it's definitely my like way of dealing with life stress. It's one of the ways I deal with it. Is definitely gaming and with Drew, and
Oh, I thought you were gonna say drinking, but I'm glad you said gaming.
yeah, maybe a little bit of that too. But no. I definitely look forward to it. And it's usually one or two games, and we don't even get to play every night. But it's enough to where we can, keeps you going together. And then the other thing too is that we'll get together and we'll do other stuff too. We'll go golf and stuff on the weekends when his ankle isn't broken. And I think it's good to have a good friend to kind of share your life stresses with.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah. I can definitely attest to that. I mean, Avante's literally the godfather of one of my children. We've known each other upwards of. See, we didn't know each other. Our relationship stems back a little more than 20 years. He was actually good friends with my brother first because they went to school together, right? Is that how it went?
Yeah, we went to the same college. Yeah,
right. And then we met after the fact. So we met actually in my early 20s, right? Because I just got married.
Yeah, just about.
Yeah, but it's a friendship that gaming, being able to play video games with a good friend has always been, in my opinion, something that's been just fun. Just like if you went out with them, it's just such a good time. You guys get to share the experience, share everything that's going on. And okay, so we're winding down. This has been such a good discussion with the two of you guys. And Avante, thank you very much for helping me co-host this evening. There's
Thanks for
just
having me.
there's one thing I want to ask, which is totally unrelated to anything that we've talked about. Incarnate, you said you have a restaurant, yes?
Yeah.
If you don't mind, would you like to say the name of the restaurant as a plug-in? So as if anyone's hearing this, and if anyone's in the Carolinas, I would recommend going to this restaurant because I've heard the food is great, and I'm not just saying that because I've never eaten there or ever visited. But is that okay or no? You can say
Yeah,
no, and
yeah,
then
no, absolutely. Yeah, it's a family-owned restaurant. My father bought it back in the '90s. It's been there since the '70s. It's
mm,
the Golden Skillet. Used to be a large franchise, but there's only probably a handful of them left. We just own the one in Henderson. It's Southern style family cooking. Fried
mm,
chicken and seafood, and turnip greens and collards and candied yam sides, those kind of things.
Mm,
We
mm.
call
oh my
it soul
goodness,
food. It's good for your heart. I mean, good for your soul, maybe not for your heart. But
nice,
it's good. It's a good family restaurant, and we've
nice.
got a
And
great staff that makes it happen.
this is North Carolina, yes?
Yeah, it's North Carolina. It's in Henderson.
So
Yep.
so if you're listening, you're in North Carolina, check this guy out. Grab a plate of everything he just mentioned.
That's right. You won't be disappointed. It's good food.
That's what I'm talking about. Well,
But
gentlemen, thank you very, very much. I just want to wrap things up. This was so good. It's just so fun because you know it's always fun getting to learn about the people we game with because we all play video games together too,
right.
and being able to hear from two people that I game with that have a friendship probably even closer, I would say, than me and Avante, who I would consider probably one of my closest friends in real life. It's just it's crazy. We like have so many similar memories. It's really great.
Yeah.
Right down
Yep.
to the tabletop magic, like what you guys were saying, building the decks just to beat each other. And you guys had so much fun doing that because you guys are buddies, and
That's
it's
right.
just it's just so much fun. Listen, Rage Incarnate, I want to say thank you very much for being on this episode. Rage, again, this is I believe he was part of a panel as well. So if the voice sounds familiar, that's because he was also a big deal in one of our reflection panel discussions as well. So
Thank you
thank
for
you.
having me again. It's been
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Thanks for having us. I've really enjoyed this. I've actually is my first podcast, and I wasn't really sure what to expect, to be honest. And it's been awesome. It's just
Nice.
been a nice chill session.
Yeah, yeah. This is good. Just getting to know the people behind the gamer tags. We are gamers. So having said that, and then our co-host Avanteguarde, he's actually been a big support personally. He's been a great friend. Just as
He's
you
the
two have
best.
said, he is amazing. You know. Thank you, Avante. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you for kind words.
Awesome. All right, so let's just wrap it up. I just want to tell you that you are awesome. Jesus loves you and ganadora.